Now that we say it out loud, this sounds absolutely insane that we are doing this.
It is a bit insane.
I mean, we're here now, so
We're here.
all the logistics.
We're here on our way to LA,
Yeah,
your favorite city.
it is not. If I had my choice, which apparently I could have.
For we love to roam in the shadow of the Alps. We found our home. New language on our tongues, connecting with foreign lands beneath the same moon. Our spirits rise as a clan. From the Rockies to the Alps, we seek a path fill our souls. The passion that burns inside us, hotter than red hot coals. Come along, to places out of frame. Come along, we will never be the same.
Welcome to DIA. Check out our
These fancy new chairs.
fancy chairs.
Last time we flew, they didn't have these. They're made out of skis.
Mine's got the flag painted in all its
They
glory.
even have the like clip-ins. You can't see. You got to go over the edge. As like cup holders.
Yeah, look at that.
Pretty sweet. Hey,
Well, yeah, it's about 3:45. Flight's not till 6. But it was that, or we got stuck in Denver traffic. So
and it was going to take us 2 hours to get here. So we would have had to
Yeah.
leave 45 minutes ago from the house to be here at 5, an hour early.
yeah, it was
And
kind of a nightmare as far as traffic.
Since the last time we were here, they've changed the whole airport. So now check-in
Everything.
and security are different. So I'm kind of glad we showed up way early because
The
we
whole
were
thing's
able
like
to turn around.
inverted now. So you used to go through like get your tickets and stuff upstairs, and then you would go downstairs to security. Now it was like most of them were check-in downstairs.
Well,
Ours wasn't,
you said it looked like international was check-in downstairs. We
which
had to go
seemed
back up.
right because we saw Air France down there.
Yeah,
We
had to go-
saw Aer Lingus. Sorry. But then we went upstairs for our domestic flight.
Yeah, and that's where we checked in and got our tickets.
Yeah, sure.
And then we went through security on that same level. So they've changed it. It's a little bit different. Some updates since we were last here.
Seems a lot different, but it also feels like they're in transition to
Yeah.
finishing like the switch over, so
And something more to be more efficient.
it feels more efficient.
Because security used to be all the time backed up. There was like huge lines that would take you hours to get through security.
Yeah.
It took us all of like 5 minutes.
And the buckets like come up on their own and then like automatically put themselves back.
Yep.
Almost like you'd expect bowling pins at a
You don't-
bowling alley or something.
You don't have to take your shoes off. You leave everything in your bag.
That was very nice. No
But he did
shoes.
have to take his belt off.
Always a pleasure.
So
Hey,
yeah.
ladies.
it'll be really nice with 4 kids
It will.
to not have to
Be
take
much
their
more pleasant.
shoes off and pull everything out of the bag. And so, yeah.
Well, they had me leave my hat on.
Yep.
That's not normal. So there's some changes, but it all seemed like, even though it's new, maybe not altogether,
Yeah.
it's going to be better.
Yeah, for the better.
Not that we'll fly through DIA too much more, actually, because
Uh,
our next flight isn't even actually through DIA.
Oh, I guess that's a good point. But
Alright.
we will when we come back to visit family. Everyone's
Yeah,
here in
that's
Denver,
true.
so we will.
Yeah,
It just
I guess you're right.
won't be. I know. I didn't even
Anyways.
think about that.
Today is the day we're flying to LA. So bring you guys up to speed with what we're actually doing at DIA. We have the world's largest dossier.
Hold on. Oh,
Brought to you by my inability to.
you see, it's
Not
like busting at
overplan.
the seams,
Yeah, you can't fit another sheet of paper in there.
and it's heavy.
I am prepared. We
Okay,
will be
so 10
prepared. It has everything in it, and
So-
probably
okay.
2 copies of it.
Yeah, so he says everything. Everybody has their own folder, and it has all the things that are required per TLS.
The supporting document.
It also has extras. There's a form because we had to
Yeah.
split our appointments into 2 separate ones. So it's me and 2 kids, and then him and 2 kids.
Which is ridiculous. But
Yeah, it is. But so everybody, all the 4 kids have a paper that says I'm responsible for all four, and he has one that says
Yeah.
he's responsible for all four.
Authorization of Guardianship.
There you go.
And yeah.
Because we have two separate appointments with individual kids, we didn't want there to be any confusion that like I was responsible for two and he wasn't allowed to take care of those
Or
ones,
that
or
even
vice
though
versa.
the next day I'm securing the other two kids, that she didn't have permission to take the two kids for her appointment. It just pretty much blows any suspicion or concern
Yeah.
out of the way. I also think it was listed on there, but it might have been put. I just feel like the instructions try to cover every eventuality, and in this case, it might have been referring more to like if you were divorced and remarried or adopted a kid, you have to prove the guardianship
Yeah.
and parental consent to settle in France. It's not really clear, and I don't know if it'll ever be clear, because, and this is a hard part of it.
Yeah.
We want to tell you guys what is required to ease some of this transition for you, but we're never going to meet the consulate. We won't know,
Yeah.
did we do
So
a
the
bang
hard-
up job or not?
Right. The hard part is we've over prepared. We took everything they said and took it to the nth degree because we want no confusion. We want no questions of does this cover it? So even like our financials, we printed out bank statements like they asked for. He then went ahead and did like a summary sheet.
It's like a financial
lists-
profile, basically.
Yeah, that lists like every account and how much is in every account. We did wire transfers. We did anything related.
Explained any amount of money that was moved recently, or any amount of money that will be moved in the near future.
Yeah.
Because we did speak to that, and it's troubling. I've heard like they will feel you're more committed if you've sold your house. Well, I feel like that's irresponsible as the head of a household of 6
Well,
to sell off our
and-
house before we even know we have a place to move
And if
to.
we sell our house now, we will never be afford to buy it again,
Not
or
in-
even in this area.
yeah,
So
not in
it's
the market.
irresponsible.
Yeah, we can't replace that
So he did a letter stating how much it's valued at the moment.
presently, yeah.
Same with our
And
car and
trying
how
to,
much.
I gave like a low end estimate, so it didn't seem like we were flourishing anything. We were just trying to be honest
Yeah.
about the potential
Well,
liquid assets.
and because there's 6 of us and we all have individual appointments, every single one of us has a copy of those papers. So there's
Well, it's
6.
on the checklist, and so I didn't know to do an application for each person, and now I kind of feel like that traumatized me into if it's on the checklist for an individual's application, they now
Everybody
have
got
that document, and so there's literally a 30-page financial portfolio for each
I'll never
person.
get this closed again. But here's
Yeah.
mine. This is a manila envelope and it is thick.
Yeah,
It
right.
is hefty.
It's got a
Um,
lot of paper.
yeah.
And so I'm at the computer this morning, printing that out, finalizing the last of the documents, stapling a 30-page financial report together, almost breaking our stapler. I'm sure it would have been good footage. We should have gotten.
Whatever.
But it was madness. There was no time to even stop and think about running a camera, honestly. The children actually have a thicker one because they had to have all the schooling correspondence, which that all broke through in the last
Well,
48 hours.
It
I
says,
finally got in contact with the school department in charge of enrollment,
I can't sit.
and then they please don't break it.
I'm not breaking it, but it's getting stuck on the papers. Okay.
We finally got in contact with that department for enrollment, and they were like, oh yeah, fill out this application and we'll get you covered. So I filled it out and sent it in, and within 24 hours got a reply back.
Yeah, but
But that,
caveat is they needed a few
Yeah.
things. They needed a shot records, which we don't have the meningitis shot because they don't do it here in the U.S.
and we don't have a translated document of
And
anything.
So some of those things we'll have to take with us. We can schedule the vaccines. There was something else that we needed to schedule, but and we'll
Well,
take
yeah.
that there. So there was some communication needed that like I will have those forms when we show up and get this all finalized.
Kind of a, we fully intend to comply
Yeah.
with the parts we don't have yet, but here's where we're at the moment.
Yeah. And so we essentially filled out the applications and got a confirmation that they will be enrolled when we arrive. in these appropriate grades.
And if we follow up at the beginning of next year, they will print out the certificates.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit of a drop, a disheartening, oh no, that wasn't what we were after. But, caveat again, it's the best we've got. And so it does confirm they have received the applications, they will draft up those parts, and it just feels like, okay, the schooling is covered.
It's the best we can do.
We've
from
made
afar.
contact, and
Yeah.
they have our applications, we're in the system. They even identified one of our children is not old enough to do school this year. She won't start until
September.
the following year.
of next
So
year.
that actually was kind of a nice relief because half of our children don't even require a certificate of
Yeah.
enrollment at all because they're not old enough. So that was an easy, like literally drafted a sentence, added that to the packet. Yeah, we were over prepared, but I was hoping that a polished portfolio for each person will ease the process and avoid any. First of all, we won't be missing any documents.
Yeah, that was it.
It doesn't ask for our marriage certificate. I put it
Did it
in there.
anyways.
I'm not gonna show up and they go, "Oh, you needed
You
that."
should have that.
It didn't ask for our birth certificates. It asked for the children's.
Well, and that was
I
one
put
of the
that in
other
there
things
anyways.
with the school is they asked for the family book,
Yeah,
which is not a thing in the U.S. So we just sent our birth certificates that show that we are their parents.
for everybody. Yeah.
Because I Googled what a family book is, and it essentially just lists out every death and birth of family members.
Yeah, it's sort of a family tree, and it's
Yeah.
not necessarily an official document, but it seems like it might be something that people actually would hand
Regularly
on
use.
and use. So it definitely feels like the whirlwind we've been riding has landed with that
Everything
insane.
is slowly falling into place.
It has fallen into place. It's that insane accuracy we've dropped into. We're at the airport now. The work is done. We just got to go.
Nerves get to set in
We
now.
just got to go turn it in. What I was telling her is really we just have a 2-day vacation now because there's no work to do. We have someone watching our children. It's going to be the 2 weeks, possibly, after we get back, where we are in limbo, waiting, sitting, wondering, like, did we get it?
What we're doing with our life.
I am quite sleep deprived.
Not to mention every day he has been 8 hours, 12 hours trying to make sure this is all set. And I'm taking
Standing at my computer
Yeah.
because I can't work in the main part of the house where the kids are
running
just
around
going crazy,
screaming.
which is what she's dealing with the entire time I'm working.
I mean, we're here now, so
We're here.
all the logistics.
We're here on our way to LA,
Yeah,
your favorite city.
it is not. If I had my choice, which apparently I could have, I would have gone to Seattle.
We've heard a rumor that you can go to any of the locations. You just have to select it at the application process, like when you're choosing where to go.
Which he made a good point that like maybe flying to Houston for us would have been cheaper because it's not
It's
such
possible.
a big hub.
Well, and it depends where you are in the United States. If you're
yeah.
close to one, yeah, it's probably going to be your best bet. But maybe
We're kind of smack dab in the middle
Yeah.
of like 3 of them.
if you had a choice
So
and you could compare flights.
yeah,
Or, this is a great point, if you have family in Seattle, it'd
Yeah,
be
to
nice
go
to
and
be able to
stay
fly
with
there
them.
instead of to a city where you know nobody.
Right.
And that would, I think, be very beneficial at this stage because we do feel like each part of this is just a slight hemorrhage of money.
Yeah.
You just
Especially if we don't get a
constantly-
visa, we are just dropping thousands of dollars on trying.
Yep, over and over.
Flights, hotels,
And you think it's covered.
application fees. Yeah,
You think it's covered.
yeah.
She's pointed it out more than once. It's not so covered.
No.
And I thought, okay, we paid to get the TLS appointment. Some people, once again, rumor online, we will either confirm or
Deny.
dismiss this.
Yeah.
Say you have to pay again at the appointment.
Another fee, like processing fee at the appointment. And there's also, if you don't take your picture ahead of time, there's a
Upcharge.
for taking the photo and having them do your photo, like a $40 fee. But for 6 of us, that's quite a hefty price tag.
Well, especially when children can't be in the building.
Under 12 can't be in the building, so we can't bring the kids even if we
How
wanted
does that even
to.
work?
So yes, there's a lot that goes with it, a lot of money that you have to put down before you even know if you're going.
Exactly.
So it's a big commitment to even try.
I think when we put this together, we won't include snacks or I forgot my toothbrush money, but we will have like an itemized, like this is what it
Fees.
actually cost us, and we'll try to break it down to adults and children, we were thinking, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's always possible because
But
they
maybe
don't
we'll just do
necessarily
by
detail
6,
it.
and then you can divide
Give,
by 6.
give you an estimate
Yeah.
at least of what it'll cost.
Yeah, yeah, because just with flight and hotel and application fees,
Yeah.
it is, well,
been
for
quite
6
high.
of us, it is several $1,000s.
Yeah.
So,
And I see that like if you didn't have the money for the flight, the hotel, the
Yeah.
appointment, because that was not cheap either.
yeah,
I mean, this all stacks up in a way that you could be out of money before you even get to the
And if-
consulate's appointment.
I feel like nobody's talking about that cost, that before you even know if you've been approved for a visa, it is, at least for one person, it's several $100s.
Well, and we dropped a lot of time and money and energy to get
Yeah.
the flights ahead of time, and it seems like they don't even care if you have a flight scheduled. From what I heard, they don't even collect documentation about that flight. Obviously, I brought it anyway, but yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah,
But that's a bunch of money that could have been in our account.
yeah.
Does that make us look more appealing or not? Because you don't know. Like, you don't know the equation they're going to use.
And you don't get to talk to the person at the consulate. You
To
go through
explain
TLS,
anything or-
yeah.
Answer a question. Like, will they correspond back?
This, now
I
that
don't
we're
know.
saying it out loud, sounds absolutely insane that we're doing this.
Go ahead, say that again.
Now that we say it out loud, this sounds absolutely insane that we are doing this.
It is a bit insane. I've had
As
my
a-
moments where I'm like, what are we doing?
Especially as a family of 6.
This is going to be a ride.
2 people, I get it. 2
Yeah.
adults, I get it. We have 4 kids we're trying to do this with.
However, bring it back around. We were just talking on the drive down about how excited we were that the kids are going to be at a young enough age to adapt quickly.
Yeah, that the
Um,
language won't really be an issue of them not knowing it because
Well-
they're getting kept on so fast.
and that's largely based on the email we got back from the enrollment office. They confirmed what levels the children should enter school at.
Yeah,
And it's all at least one lower than we had anticipated. And so it's like our eldest daughter won't actually even be in first grade. She'll be in preparatory,
like kindergarten.
which is nice. Like that gives her a lot of time to focus more on the language and making friends than on the
Then on the grades.
academics. And then obviously descending down from there, like I was saying,
Yeah. Preschool.
half of our
and
kids
then
don't even have to go to school
Yeah.
yet. And yeah, preschool for our eldest son. So
For our second child.
for our second child, he gets to basically go to preschool in France and
And play and have fun and learn the language.
learn French and make friends. And
Yeah. And then our third child gets to go to what, daycare?
it'll be like she never missed anything,
Yeah.
probably, because I know us, especially her, there will be, meeting up with mom groups and going to the park whenever possible.
Yeah, especially with
Playing
the
with
baby,
other kids and
number
so.
4. He is
Yeah,
too young to do anything but that. So
I worry about his English, to be honest.
I don't, because we will speak it at home. He will be surrounded by English at home.
I agree with that. What are your guys' thoughts? Leave a comment.
Not even thoughts. Does anybody have
Yeah.
experience in it?
That's true, yeah. What are your guys'
Tell me how
experiences?
this goes.
How did it play out? And it doesn't have to be, French and English. If you have other language experience,
Yeah.
introducing your child to a foreign country or a foreign culture, that'd be great to know. I had to cue it back up because she's dropping all these actual feelings.
Okay. As I'm sitting here yawning, thinking
Yeah.
it is what 4:15, and I shouldn't be yawning so much.
It is so contagious.
But I was just
I started
saying
yawning right
that
back.
I think I'm so tired because I'm just stressed about this appointment, that we've done all that we can, that we've got all the right paperwork, and the fact of not knowing
To the best of our ability.
yeah, but like the fact of not knowing if we've done enough. I have to go into my appointment first, and he's put the whole thing together,
Yeah.
and I'm just stressed about it.
It's
and
nuts.
so I don't know what to expect. I don't know what they're going to ask for. And then even after the appointment, we come home not knowing for potentially 2 weeks. And so like it's just a ton of stress, and I don't like the not knowing. And that was part of the reason we're applying it 6 months early, because that's as early as you can. And it gives me that I know if we're going or not.
Yeah, the not knowing is also this like lack of control, and we've done everything we can because we do want to know. We want to commit to this being successful, and
Yep.
we're gonna go in not knowing. We're gonna come home not knowing, like she said, and
At
we're gonna
least-
we're gonna wait for 2 weeks not knowing.
Yeah, at least after the appointment, I feel like it'll kind of be like hands off. We've done what we can, and now we just wait for a decision. Like there's nothing more that we can do.
There's that Zen I'm always telling you about. She just zenned it out. Oh, it's out of my control.
It is out of our control. We've
Doesn't
given
mean
them
I'm not
every-
gonna worry about it.
No, but like, I don't know.
I wish
we've
that
done
was
our
the case.
part, and it's now up to somebody else, and I have no control and no say over that. So
what it
I
is.
probably won't worry about it once
think-
we're there.
I think that's also why we've been so diligent to put in a huge amount of effort on the front end, because at some point you have to turn it over and just trust it's going to work out, and we don't know that yet. But we did all of the best we could, so we can slide that paperwork across and have, I think, that peace of mind that we've done what we can. I hope that you feel that way too.
Yeah.
Just checking in with the real feelings.
Okay. Real feelings.
I'll give you the real feelings. I've been so face first in all of this paperwork for weeks now.
That you can't see straight.
Well, first of all, my eyes are doing this weird crystally thing where I just see like crystally diamonds.
Story real fast.
But, hold
no, wait. As we get in the
Go
car,
segue real quick.
we get onto the freeway. He goes,
I'm already driving.
I can't see right. And I'm like, oh,
Wow.
that's great. Do we need to pull over?
I didn't say that. I said my eyes are doing something
Okay.
weird.
I go, do we need to pull over and I need to drive? No, everything just looks kind of crystalline. And he goes, it's fine. It's fine. I can see details on the cars. The comment you just made doesn't help the fact that you just told me you can't see right, but okay, cool.
It wasn't like I had a big black spot or anything.
Great. I'm just not seeing clearly, but it's totally fine driving on the freeway. Anyways.
We got here safe.
Yeah.
We're here.
But did you die? No, I didn't. So,
Now to unsegue.
Okay,
What was I
unsegue.
talking about?
oh, I don't know.
Welcome to the show. Anyways,
Emotions. I was having
yeah.
real feelings.
My
and then a
emotions.
Zen moment. There you
Oh,
go.
my eyes
All the
are crystally
paperwork.
because
Head first into the paperwork.
I'm head first in the paperwork for 3 weeks now. Longer than that, just several weeks in a row. And I just haven't gotten to like look up or breathe even. It's just been constant, something to do, something to put my mind on. And then this morning, like finishing, it was finally like the first time I was like, there's nothing left to do. The checklist is complete. I'm too tired to even know where I am or what day it is.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't have it all so like on the front of my mind, I would have forgotten what we were doing today. Kind of feeling. But it also just slowly settled, and I slowly woke up thanks to some breakfast, and
Pounding
That's-
matcha tea.
that is when all of a sudden it was like,
Or mate.
Oh,
not
goodness.
matcha, mate tea.
oh goodness. Back to what we were talking about.
You're face first into.
Oh, the panic. It finally set in after I woke up because I
Oh.
drank my tea. And yeah, it sort of is that like you've gone off the edge of the cliff now. You've
There's
done what
no
you
going back.
did all the prep you could, but you're now
Here's to hoping
base
my parachute
jumping.
opens.
Yeah, you've jumped off the cliff.
Yep.
Have you made the right choice
Yeah.
to base jump today? We'll find out.
I think it'll kind of
Particular
be
time for Southwest Airlines is looking for inbound passenger from Alabama.
Abilama.
They got lost.
Gary.
哦，亲爱看，
If you're boarding
我看星星。
make your way to C54 for very important lost items. Gary
哦，亲爱看，我看星星。
inbound
Gary.
Stop
from
talking. We're just gonna edit this out.
Albany. Make your way to C54 for a lost
Are we?
item.
Doing the school run, I did football, soccer
Yep.
by myself with all 4 kids. I've been making every meal and making sure I did trash last night, which he normally does.
Yeah, she went full
Um,
champion mode yesterday. It was like final 24 hours.
After a long day of travel, we fell asleep.
I just got done with my TLS appointment for me and the 2 oldest kids.